need to drop them from higher up.
Get on the ladder. Or have the tall guy do it.
It's pretty good.
What are you doing here, man?
We're distressing a metal cabinet.
Emotional distress?
Yeah. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Glass cabinet work log. We're trying to build something that looks like iron, faux finishing. You can use this on anything. Starting with a primer. The whole point here is to not do too good a job, right? Otherwise it's not going to look realistic. And ultimately what we're looking for here is a cabinet that looks like it's been built to contain an explosion. Something built out of probably cast iron and riveted together. The next step is we use our American Accent stone surfacer, and again, we're not trying to make this look like stone, but we do need the texture because eventually we're going to be washing this whole thing in an antiquing solution. Washing this in antiquing solution with just a smooth metal finish isn't going to do us much good because there's nothing to grab onto that solution and actually make it look aged. So what we're going to do is add our own texture. We've already added texture by slamming a chain on this thing a few times and really distressing it pretty good. Now we put down the primer, and next a light coat of this stone texture to really give it some kind of a rough surface that'll grab that aging. So we put that down next. Light coat. Really light. There's nothing about this color that we want, it's the texture we want here. Really light coat, I'm just blasting it a little bit, and then I'm done. That's it. Let that dry. So the next step in our project is to actually put down some silver paint. What we're using is this American Accent antique pewter. It goes on silver, and then when we're done with that, we wash it in this solution, which comes in a little can, and you can apply it with a rag or a brush. Generally you put it on thick and then wipe it off. This is the stuff that's going to attach itself to the texture we just added and really make the thing look kind of old and antique. Now when we're working on this thing, we got to sort of do things in the same order that they would actually happen in nature if we wanted to look right. So first we do the primer, the texture, we put this on, and essentially we have a representation of what our cabinet would look like if it were brand new. And from there we start aging it. So at that point we add whatever stencils and logos we're going to put on it. Then the aging starts to happen, we dirty it up, and then from there the rust over top of that. So it's all layers. Right now, after we apply this, it'll look like it did when it was brand new. You can kind of envision that in your head and then work from there. So next it's a silver, followed by our pewter wash. We're putting the Vault 5 logo on here. So first thing we did is print it out on the computer, lay it down over a piece of sticky contact paper. We're going to actually be spraying the bottom coat of this, so we want a stencil that adheres good to the material so we don't get any bleed through. And we're just going to do light coats of yellow. dry. We'll do another coat here in a second. You just want to lightly spritz it. You don't want to force the paint on it, otherwise you'll get a lot of bleed through. I'm certain I'll get some bleed through on this, but that's okay. I think it's okay with the look we're going for. And then we'll be cutting another stencil that'll go down over the top, and we'll be rolling that on with black paint. Now, the next step is I want to paint the portal and the handle with iron, and then we'll mix up some JB Weld, and we'll weld the pieces on first, and then put the rivets on after. You think?
Yeah.
But, you know, to think that you could take the same finish and apply it to a piece of plywood.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can make a piece of plywood look like that. It doesn't matter what's under it. And that logo looks like a million times better that way than before.
I like that a lot.
Isn't that great?
I like that a lot.
All right.
What's going on here, boys?
Attaching steel banding to the outside of our glass cabinet using JB Weld, and in the cool temperature here it's going to set up real fast, so go ahead.